Hello homies, that is homies. Welcome to today's video. I have a little FNAF gameplay in the background for y'all. Uh, Today we're going to be talking about Five Guys Burger and Grill and working for Five Guys Burger and Grill. I still have my hat. My shirts have paint all over them, but I still have my hat. In fact, I'll wear it right now. Hold on a second. Alright, hat on. We're embracing the Five Guys character right now. So what was it like working for Five Guys Burger and Grill? Well, I'm about to tell you. If it's your first job, quit. Quit. Don't do it. It's a terrible first job, especially if you're prep in the morning. You get no breaks. You get paid minimum wage. Doesn't matter the state. You're gonna get paid minimum wage. It's a garbage job. Okay. Bad management, at least for my location. I worked on Broadway here in Tucson, Arizona, and management has since changed. Nothing against management now, but Chuck, holy cow, Chuck was a terrible manager. Anyway, I'm going to get into it. So let's start with opening shift. Opening shift, you come in around like 7:30 a.m. in the morning, and you're going to be prepping jalapenos, lettuce, onions. You're going to be prepping mushrooms, burger patties, and potatoes. Let's start with potatoes. Dear God, every day I had to do potatoes, and you have to carry 4 bags, not two, not one, 4 bags of potatoes, 40-pound bags, all the way to the back of house from the front of the store. You know those potatoes that you see at the front of the Five Guys? Guess what? That's for prep in the morning. Yes, we actually use them. We just restock them once we get our truck. I do not represent the company of Five Guys, by the way, before this gets serious or if this blows up or whatever. I do not represent, nor do I want to say I represent Five Guys. I've only worked for them as a crew member and was going to be a manager before I quit. Uh, Going right into it, basically you have to carry these 4 bags to the back and put them in the potato sink. The way the sink's divided is it has 3 different sinks. Sometimes it's 4, depending on the back of house. That's the one thing I'll give Five Guys. Their back of house is huge, humongous. Biggest back of house I've ever seen in any fast casual, fast food restaurant. What can you expect? You can expect to come in at 7:30 in the morning, be well dressed. You have to wear jeans or nice dress pants, or not dress pants, but black pants, and then the Five Guys t-shirt with your hat. There's no aprons, so you don't have to worry about wearing an apron. Well, no, there is aprons, excuse me, but you wear them afterwards or when you're smashing meat. You don't need to wear them when you're prepping vegetables. So cutting the potatoes, you're going to have like 200 potatoes you have to cut in the morning. So the way it works is there's one person dedicated to potatoes, one person that's dedicated to jalapenos and onions, at least at my store, one person dedicated to all the boxed items, so like mayonnaise, ketchup preparation, mustard preparation, and then you're going to have a person that's dedicated to mushrooms. I believe I already said mushrooms. Excuse me, I'm tired. Um, but you get the gist. And then at the end of the opening shift or the opening prep, you're going to have everybody come together on one of the big metal tables and you're going to prep burger patties. So the way we do this is I believe it's 3.5 grams. It's been a while since I've worked there. It's been about a year and a half since I worked at Five Guys last. But I believe it's 3.5 to 3.7 grams is their patty weight. And you roll them into balls after you rip them off the meat. Yes, they use fresh burger patties. It's uh, fresh meat, and the way it works is you roll them into balls, and then you put them over onto this metal pan. You take them off the metal pan. 2 people are on the right side, 2 people are rolling, and then the people on the right side have a smasher, and they put it on a wax paper, and then they put another wax paper on top with the patty in the middle, and then they smash it, and then you put it into a bang. That's the way it works at Five Guys. Anyway, after prep, you're going to be setting up the fryer. I don't want to get into grill because grill's this whole process, and I know grill how to do grill, but I don't know how to prep grill. That's the only thing because I never did prep for grill. Now fryer oil. every 2 days of the week. They drain the fryer oil and clean the fryers. Holy shit. The amount of times I burnt myself on that fryer oil is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, okay? You don't want to work for Five Guys because you're at risk for being the fry man. And when you're the fry man, you have to drain the fryer oil. There's a little grease trap in the back of house, and we dump it in the grease trap, the fryer oil, and then you have to clean the fryers with a metal scrubby. So you clean the sides, you clean the grates on the inside in the sinks, and then you put the grates back and you fill it up with fresh peanut oil. They don't use vegetable oil like most places. They use peanut oil, which is admirable. It makes the flavor of the fries so much better. After that, prep's done. You're ready to start the day. The store opens, and once the store opens, you have people for set areas. So you have one person on dress, you have one person on grill, you have one person on, I forget what the thing's called. Basically the team lead that overlooks everything. One person on fryer and one person on expo. Usually 2 people back of house, one for lobby, and then one that does dishes. Okay? That's the way it works at Five Guys. Will you get full-time hours? Absolutely. Five Guys does not skimp on hours, and I'll give them that. So I always usually put on fryer, but you start off on expo, or you start off on, what's it called? Dress. Dressing is very self-explanatory. You cook the buns, make sure they're well, not fried, but you know what I'm talking about. Well cooked, basically. That way it doesn't become pliable with the meat and all the toppings. And you basically focus on putting the toppings on the burger, and then you move it down the line after you put the toppings on the burger. Fryer is self-explanatory. I'm going to teach you how to cook Five Guys fries, okay? They might sue me, but I don't care because this is a well-known secret at this point. Five Guys fries. This is how you cook Five Guys fries. So after you rinse all the starch out of the potatoes, that's the first thing. You want to make sure you have clear water rinsing all the starch out of the potatoes after you cut them. You want to put them in the fryer for 2.5 minutes. Now, once you put them in the fryer for 2.5 minutes, you pull them out and shake. You shake along the way so that way they don't get stuck together, and that's your pre-cooks. You let them sit for 2 minutes, and then after that, you put them in for an additional 1:30 to 2 minutes, and that's how you get Five Guys fries. Now, after that, you just layer with salt. I like to put pepper on mine, but they don't have pepper at Five Guys, unfortunately. And once you do that, you have the perfect Five Guys fries. I shit you not. It's that easy. And make sure you fry them in peanut oil, because that's the reason they taste so good. Not vegetable oil, peanut oil. Anyway, tangent over. What can you expect? All this. Grill is self-explanatory. You put the amount of patties down that you need based off the orders. So a double is 2 patties, obviously. 1 patty is 1 patty, and then there's hot dogs. Hot dogs go in a separate part of the grill. It's the middle top right. And then you flip them over once the side's a little bit blackened. Burger patties, it's 1:30. Then you flip them over to the middle part of the grill, another 1:30, and then you flip them over again to the third section of the grill, and that's going to be your final cook, which is 2 minutes. They have to be well done. They can't be medium rare. That's Five Guys code. What's next? Now let's get into storytelling. I have so many stories from Five Guys. I met one of my best friends, Haven, from Five Guys. But anyway, let's talk about our manager, Chuck. Our general manager, Chuck, got fired because he was a creep. He was flirting with kids on the job and like close to touching people's butts, and it was really awkward and weird. And he was really rude too during the rushes. Nobody liked him. Nobody liked him at Five Guys. I don't remember his last name, and I don't want to DDoS him because he's already fired. But he wasn't a good general manager. We never got prep done on time because Chuck didn't know how to manage us. What else? My getting a laced Percocet happened at Five Guys. I had this drug dealer that worked there, and I bought a Percocet from her because she was out of weed, and I was out of weed. And this Percocet was blue, and I took it, half of it, and it was laced with fentanyl, and I almost died. That's a story that I'll link in the description. It's called Overdose from a couple years ago. What else? We had a coworker named Chewy who was a manager, and Chewy was he fucked with my music hella, but he was a creep too. He banged one of the people that worked at Five Guys. Their name shall not be named. He banged one of the people at Five Guys on the job while they were working when they closed the store. So he got fired, and that person moved to another location, um, which is abuse of management power. Totally, total abuse. Um, Five Guys overall, it's a pretty cool company to work for. You don't get paid enough for their shit though. Five Guys, if you're listening, you need to raise your wage. In-N-Out is a way better job to work for. Hell, McDonald's is paying more than you and it's an easier job. There's like no prep at McDonald's whatsoever. Zero prep. Okay? Five Guys, there's hella prep. You have to know all your stuff. If you don't know all your stuff, you get fired. It's just not a good job. I got no warnings when I got fired and worked for my second location. I got rehired because I quit last time. And when I got rehired, I got fired because I didn't know grill properly, or I didn't know how to open grill. They expected me. They didn't ask me. They expected me to know grill, which is completely messed up. But yeah, that's Five Guys Burger and Grill. For a first job, it's not too bad, so long as you're making like $13.50, maybe $12.50. But if you're making any less than $12.50, get out of there. It's not worth your time at all. If anything, I'd work it as a second job. I wouldn't work it as a first job. Your first job should pay you a good amount of money. McDonald's is perfect because it's 15 an hour, like all across the U.S. That's good money to be putting in your pocket if you're in high school, per se. That's good money you can put towards a car, towards college, towards gaming, towards your music career, anything. A lot of people, they don't work when they're in high school, and you definitely should. That's one thing I regret. Anyway, that's today's video. Have a great rest of your day, homies, or night, or afternoon, whichever it is. And Zai Jin.